It feels so good to not care. Let me tell you, man, for a long time, you've overextended yourself. You were the friend that all your other friends could go to, family members could go to, ask for help, ask for favor. When they're stuck, they're caught in a rut, right? You're like the emergency room for a lot of people. Why? Because you're really strong, you're resourceful, you're smart, you're gifted. You always seem to know how to not only manifest, but you have stability in your life. And a lot of people saw you as the type of person that they can go to when they need help or when they need rescuing. But it's so good to cut all that off and become cold. Now, coldness, that could be interpreted as being cruel, but it's for your necessity. It's to help you, to benefit you, and to protect you. Because to keep going on and keep doing this thing, walking around and allowing yourself to be an emergency room for a lot of people, it really hurts you and it stifles and stunts your growth. You can never grow when you're always you had to turn around and take attention, focus, and energy from what you're doing to accomplish your goals and live the life of your dreams to always save and help somebody else. So you always overextended yourself. You help people that you really at times couldn't afford to help, but you cared, you loved them. You had that empathetic, compassionate spirit. So you said, all right, man, damn, all right, cool, I'll come through for you. But you noticed something. You noticed that a lot of people that you help, that you went out of your way to do things for to help them, when you were struggling and they saw you struggling, they didn't help. They never reached out. But they like this dynamic. They like the relationship where they got an extractor from you, but they didn't really have to give you anything back in return. And see, a lot of these people, they saw how valuable you were, how strong you were, but they also saw that you weren't fully aware of your own value. And that's where the games begin, because as long as they were able to confuse you or undermine your value, you wouldn't realize that you were doing too much. You wouldn't have realized that, man, I could cut this person off. I don't need this. I'm better than this. They never wanted you to see your own value, because as long as you didn't truly know how valuable you were in terms of your presence, a lot of times your presence itself shifts the room. It's a gift in itself. You make people feel elevated just by being there. You do something for people, right? But as long as you weren't aware of your value, you wouldn't have realized, I don't have to tolerate this. Um, a lot of folks enjoyed that type of relationship with you, but now you're done. You're cold. You're tired. Everybody's tired, man. Tired of being the empath, tired of giving, tired of caring. But when you turn around, that same energy is never there for you. And when you face so many struggles of by yourself, some of the things that you've gone through, you almost didn't make it. And it's because of those situations, because of those instances, is where you finally realize, I got some cutting to do. Some of the situations you were in were caused by some of these people who sabotage your work or who spread lies and gossip about you. And that made things more difficult for you on a social level, on a business level, financial level, otherwise, even just your mental health. It made your days harder, made things rougher. It created more friction in your life than necessary. And so you say, you know what? I got some cutting to do. But they gave you the scissors. So you got to chip away, you got to cut away at all these different people who you were leaking out energy to. You pouring into them. Sometimes you overextended for them and did things for them. But when it's time for you to be taken care of, nobody's there. And it's because they saw how strong you were. You're strong enough to help. So they figured out, well, she should be strong enough to handle it by themselves. They're always that way. They're always strong. They're going to hold it down. They're going to be okay. But no, you need help too. It's good to know people are going to be there for you too. Because you're making their life easier, you should have people in your life to make your life easier as well. And this is what they don't understand. But they're in regret, y'all. A lot of these folks, they're in regret. They realize they should have gave you more. They should have been there more. They should have attended to you. They should have been more loyal or more faithful in a relationship in terms of being there for you and reciprocating the energy. And now that you're no longer there, now that you've gone cold, now that you don't care, it's like you remove this person or these groups of people and you no longer care, and they're like, damn, where is he? Where is she? Where's that same energy? Your energy was a resource. It's almost like being able to charge your phone. If you don't have your USB, if you don't have that charger, you don't know what to do. You got to get to your phone, right? Well, in a lot of cases, that's similar to how you were seen and how you were used. You're the portable, charger to where at the last minute when their life was dying out or their battery was dying, you were there, you were available, you would help, you would give knowledge, you would give resources because you were always working on different things. So you had resources to give. Sometimes it's just your emotional well being, just that energy, that upliftment, that compassion, that empathy. But it was always used against you in their favor, but nothing was ever given to you to benefit you. But they thought because you were such a loving and caring person that you will always be there. It's almost like your empathy, compassion, and energy towards others was seen as a given. They didn't see it as you having a choice to be that way. They thought that's just who they are on autopilot. And they never thought they would see the day where you just cut off and remove access to protect yourself, protect your peace. But that's the thing, man. You should cut people off like that who are in your life but not reciprocating, because the mere fact that they see your energy, your resources as an automatic given, and they shouldn't feel the need to be there for you when you're struggling or reciprocate the energy, goes to show you that they never really cared about you like that, the way you cared about them. They never really saw you as, yo, I got to make sure to be there for this person. I got to be there, right? That same loyalty, almost like how gangbangers, they'll be there for each other. Cops will be there, whatever group, like this dying level of loyalty to where no matter what, I'm going to be there for you. They never saw you as that, but they expected you to be that for them, to where you would sacrifice your whole life just to make something easier for them. No, no. In their regret, they realized they should have treated you better. They should have did better to you or by you. And they thought they could replace you at first. They thought, man, I could find somebody else just like that. But the same people who they assumed would be that way for them completely dismissed them, aren't even given half of what you gave, and really could care less from the jump, from the beginning. And you might find some people reaching back out to you. Yes, because they saw you as a resource. The resource ran out. They're trying to find it somewhere else. They couldn't. So now they're trying to come back to the original source. But be mindful, man. Be discerning. Um, Understand and really look at certain people and the relationship for what it was. They came to you, asked you for this, whatever. You gave, you helped, you supported, you encouraged, you gave your energy. But when you need that same energy in return, when you're building and they see you doing things, do they ever reach out? Do they ever support? Do they ever say or ask you if you need anything? That's how you know. Stop giving, man. It's okay to be cold. And your coldness doesn't equal cruelty. Your coldness equals boundaries. It equals prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your mental health, and keeping and holding on to your energy. Because you did waste some of that energy on people because they never gave it back. Keep that energy to yourself so that you can benefit from it, so that you can grow. Give your energy to yourself and see how your life changes. Stop leaking it. Stop giving it to people who don't really value it. I mean, they do value it, but they never reciprocated it, right? Keep that to yourself and see how things shoot up for you almost overnight.